Decision making. How do I make my decisions post spiritual awakening compared to pre spiritual awakening? So, first of all, I'll tell you how I used to make decisions and how I now make decisions, which are very, very different. So, before spiritual awakening, it would always be about, well, what value am I going to get? For instance, if I was to decide whether I was going to do a particular course or a retreat, it would be, well, what's exactly on the agenda and what am I specifically going to receive as a result of doing that course? What's the value to me? And so it would be very much a mind exercise. And of course, I would also look at money to see whether it was something that I could afford or not. These days, it's very different. I don't think like that anymore. For example, a spiritual teacher that I follow, Laurie Ladd, she's holding a retreat in Kenya in February. And she has thousands of people in her community. And she's opening up only 18 slots for her retreat in Kenya in February tomorrow morning. And I had to decide today as to whether this is going to be something I'm going to do. So the first thing I do, and I was doing this while I was in the shower, it was like, how does this feel to me? Does this feel expansive in terms of going to Kenya with Laurie Ladd and only 17 other people? And it was like, yes, it feels really, really expansive. It feels really positive. It feels like this is something that my soul wants to do. And in fact, there were tears coming down my face. So I knew that it was something that my heart was saying a big yes to. And then the second question was, well, what about the money? Because it's quite expensive because it's in US dollars, quite expensive when you look at the Australian dollar versus the USA dollar. And again, what I always say to myself, and this is actually something I've always said to myself about money, which is if money wasn't an issue, what would you choose to do? And what I would choose to do is definitely go if money wasn't an issue. And so therefore, money won't be an issue because that's the way that I decree it. I decree that it's not an issue. And so those funds will arrive and they will pay for the trip. I'm absolutely certain of it. As soon as I make a decision about something, as soon as it's a soul-led decision and it comes from the heart, everything will work out. It always, always does. And so I have that certainty when it comes to abundance and funding, things like this. And finally, I didn't even care what the agenda is. Like, it doesn't matter to me what we're doing every day. It doesn't matter to me what I think I'm going to get out of it because I don't know what I'm going to get out of it. That's the beauty about this. It's this beautiful adventure where I'm really open to receiving whatever this trip gives me. And the final thing is that whether I get accepted or don't get accepted, because it's first in, best dressed, and so I may not be quick enough to get one of the 18 spots that's available, it's all good. So I know for sure that if I don't get accepted, it wasn't for my highest good for whatever reason that I don't know at this point, but it will become apparent later on. And if I do get accepted, I'm supposed to be going. There's no doubt about it. And so I have that certainty about how the universe is holding me and guiding my path. I'm very, very certain. And so I don't need to work it out any more than that. My human me doesn't need to think about, well, what value is it? And why am I going? And what am I going to get out of it? And it's going to cost so much money. And this is going to really aggravate my home loan if I pull money out of my home loan. None of those things. Yeah, sure, they come through maybe for a split second, but they leave really quickly because that's not what I think about. I feel into it. And that's how I make all my decisions. It's all about, how do I feel? Does this feel expansive to me? And straight away I can feel if it feels expansive because I have this warm, glowing feeling in my heart. The money, if I had all the money in the world, would I do this thing? Yes or no? And then that's the answer for me. So that's the way that I make my decisions, which is fairly straightforward. And if this video was helpful to you with the way that you make your decisions, I would really love to know about it. If you could just let me know in the comments below, like, share, I would really, really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Wishing you a blessed day.